getting really good at this timing thing, except I'm silent. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this latest episode of that D&D podcast's Argent Springs Adventures campaign. This is Season 2, Episode 10. I can't believe that we've got here already. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I guess let's go around and introduce ourselves first, and then I have something to read to you all before we get rolling. My name is Aaron. I am the DM, as you may know from like 9 of these 10 episodes so far. Thanks again, Zach. I'll be playing Ash mostly, and peripheral characters and stuff. So, Patrick, you're up next. Why not?
Hi, I'm Patrick, which you might remember me from 4 of these 10 episodes. And I will be playing a small druid elf girl named Girl, in quotation marks.
Okay. Danielle?
Hey, that's me. And I will be playing a fighter named Six Voices as One. She has still and empty eyes, and she conceals her innumerable ragged scars beneath the heavy coat of worn armor.
Dang. Okay.
I figured I would actually get into a little bit of detail this time.
That's totally fair. I always like little flavor bits. Those are fun. Next up, let's go to Manuel.
Hi, I'm Manuel. I play Anon, the quite a sane thief, contrasting to all these interesting individuals.
Everybody's totally fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're all totally normal.
And last but not least, let's go over to Randall.
Monkus and I'm playing Randall, and he has a nice little red scarf with RS emblazoned in gold on it.
Fancy. I like it. Okay. So for those of you who listened to the last episode, some things happened, and Six ended up with a book. And for the next few episodes, at the beginning of each episode, I'm going to read you an excerpt from the book. And yeah, let's go from there. An entry from the journal of Ashley Silver. They're killing people. They're killing people and they're getting away with it. Being the second largest corporation in the world makes Transigen above such pesky things as laws and oversight, and I helped them. God's helped me, I helped them out. I'd say I didn't know or I was just following orders, but that doesn't absolve me from the blood on my hands. My name is Ashley. Ashley Silver. I was just a biochemist focused on helping make and patent new drugs that were supposed to let people live longer, live healthier, live better. But only the rich people got those drugs. The poor folks living on the street, they got the knockoffs, the imperfect clone drugs that cause cellular degradation, DNA mutation, necrosis of the nervous system, addiction. There's no end to all the horrible shit that's inflicted on the people who don't have the money to scrape together to get to the medical. It's even worse with this latest round of experimental drugs. They bypassed the normal required testing phase, and now people are dying from a drug I was working on. I'm trying to fix things, though. I'm blowing the whistle everywhere I can, but nothing's working. The news leads get buried. Government investigators suddenly don't have time to return calls or actually investigate. I've reached out to other groups to try and handle things personally. I've been spitting out the amnesol they expect us to take before we leave every day. I remember the formulas for everything. I've got a basic fabricator rig at home, and I'm going to print actual medicine and give it to the people who need it. If they find me, they'll kill me, but I don't care. I've caused so much pain, and it's time for me to fix it. The indentured workers here can be made to look the other way when I need it. I give them busy work that takes them out of eyesight and hearing range. And I'm also handier with the bot programming that I let on, too. Let there be blind spots. I know there's human brains in there, and I don't harm them. I try not to harm anyone. It's never been me. I don't want pain caused to be my legacy. Anyway, it starts now. I'll update this soon. I hope. And yeah, so that's the first journal entry. And I guess right there,
Jeez.
Six closes her book. And she closes her book after you all get a summons from Ash. So I assume y'all all gather at the normal place. She seems a little different now. Like the orc and the kobold and the goblin, who all seem to kind of be on the same level as her. Previously, she seems to be giving them orders, and she seems more confident. And she turns around and sees you all, and she's wearing some outfit you've never seen before. It's pretty much all black, except she's got this red scarf thing around her neck. And she says, okay. Hey, everybody. I guess you're up on the rotation. Are you ready for today's mission?
Yeah, let's get this over with. Hopefully, I can get a proper report this time.
Are you looking for more money?
Maybe that on the side, maybe some favor with certain, you know who.
I can't fault you for wanting to look out for yourself. I know a lot of people are, and that's totally fine. I can spot you all a little bit extra for this mission. And depending on how it goes, there may be some side benefits, but I can't talk about those right now, or probably not at all until plans are in motion.
Sure. Anyways,
Look, I can give you all 15 coins now, and then another 10 when you make it back up safely.
Randall coughs and says, and our arrangement?
I'm still making sure that your needs are taken care of.
I'm going to need twice as much this time.
That'll be tough. I think we may be able to work something out.
Girl walks up to Ash. Your head is filled with red.
Yeah, it's my hair.
It looks like blood
A little bit. I'm kind of partial to it.
and fire.
Yeah.
And she
Sometimes,
turns around and walks back.
sometimes I tell people I'm attached to it, and then see if they chuckle. Not a whole lot of people do. It's kind of a crappy joke. Anyway, okay. So, 6 newbie. Do y'all need anything special in order to do this, or are you good?
I guess I'm
Sorry.
good.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just that says that he's good.
Okay.
This is fine.
Okay. Randall, why don't we go talk real quick? I may have a way to offer some extra assistance. I can't talk about it here. Just come over here real quick. And she pulls you off to the side. And she says, "What's going on?"
Condition is worse. I just need more.
Okay. Pulmonary operations normal? Any decreased nervous response? Sorry. Okay. I have a background in medical things. That's fine. I need
Randall's just a
you.
little bit nervous, and he just kind of very quietly says, she just can't stay hydrated. She keeps losing water.
I've I've heard of some things like this. It's been a while since I was working on this side of things, but um, after this is all done, I need you to write me down a list of symptoms, and I may be able to work something out.
He kind of hesitates for a moment, looks at his companions, looks back at Ash, and then nods.
And if at any point you decide you don't trust me or you don't trust the plan, that's totally fine. I hold no ill will. I'll hand you over the items needed when the time comes, and that's it's up to you what you do with them. Okay.
Very well.
All right.
I get it. The hair's attached to her head. That's what she meant.
Ash walks back and she does one of those awkward, yeah, okay, chuckle things, and she goes, okay, so I guess we should get moving. We'll meet at the teleporter as usual. We're going down kind of far. I don't know that anybody else here has been this far down. I have certain privileges that let me get to certain places, and we're going down a ways, about 88 floors down.
And kind of walks over
okay.
to the girl and says, "Girl, you're not going to kill us, are you?"
Girl looks at you, and you notice that like half of her face is covered in hair. The other half, you just see one eye, and she gives a big smile, like she's like 12, so she gives like this really toothy smile. No, you're not. Don't worry, I won't kill you.
Great. Just
I think.
And
Your
then
death,
she,
I see your death is going to be something different. And she continues.
Randall is kind of resolved to his fate, kind of shrugs and walks out.
Nice. Okay.
by the way, do we add like 15 gold?
Yeah, you have that 15 gold. I was gonna say, after Ash tells you to meet up at the teleporter, she pretty much ends the briefing there and walks off. She says, do whatever you have to do, and we'll regroup.
Let's see.
So we each got 15 gold.
Yes, you got 15 gold as your upfront part of the payment. Randall, your remaining 10 will probably be used to buy extra water credits.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give myself 5 right now.
Sure, that's fine. Or I mean, you could just take take no payment extra after the mission's over if you have 15 gold worth of crap you want to buy right now.
Well, I'm just going to 75 then. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to buy a dagger.
A dagger?
A
Okay.
common dagger.
Okay. Anybody else need anything before we head down? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So we have 2 headed over to the teleporter. Girl and Randall, is there anything y'all want to buy?
Girl's just going to start heading to the teleporter. She got what she needed.
Okay.
Already.
I'll get some bandages.
Okay.
It's
Easy
5
peasy.
points.
Yes, I believe so. Excuse me. So yeah, you all regroup at the teleporter. You notice Ash has this large empty bag slung across her back. She has these weird metal bracer things that are mostly covered up by the sleeves of the clothes she's wearing, but they're kind of poking out. She says, "Okay, is everybody here? Ready to go?"
I suppose so.
You're ready.
I am ready.
Ow, sorry, didn't mean to punch my microphone there. Okay. So you walk up, and right when the teleporter thing begins its whole "Hey, how's it going?" spiel, Ash holds up her hand and she says, "Pause execution of programming. Administrator. Clearance level ultraviolet." And then she rattles off a string of about 24 letters and numbers. And then she says, "Command disable countermeasures and scanners for the next 8 hours. Starting at confirmation of order." And the light doesn't say anything, it just blinks green a few times. And she says, "And execute." She says, and then she stops and thinks for a second. She goes, "Take us to the 75th floor." Yeah, that sounds right. 75. And this time there's no like bright flash of light or getting turned into goo. You have the awareness of yourself, and you can see stuff as you're going down. And I mean, it's fast, but as far as you can tell, you're still you on the way down, and you're just kind of whooshing through this corridor downwards. And after probably 20 or 30 seconds, sorry, my cat's being a complete weirdo. After 20 or 30 seconds, you arrive on the 75th floor with a ding, and the doors hiss open, and a little bit of dust kind of comes in when the pressure equalizes. And Ash looks at you and she says, "Yeah, this weird transport system doesn't go any further down, as far as I know. So we're gonna have to take elevators. I'm not sure if any of you know what elevators are. So it's like this, except you don't get turned into goo, and you just kind of stand there in a room that moves."
That sounds better than I've heard people say when they travel. They tend to say it's not a very good trip.
Yeah. Let's just say riding with me has its privileges. And so she walks into the hallway. Let me draw the whole thing on the map. Y'all come out of the room, and there's a long hallway. And it seems like it's some corridor that's intersecting a bunch of other corridors.
Is each line a different
Yeah.
wall?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's 8 or 10 different
yeah.
ones?
So that's what it seems like at first. And as you all, I assume you're just going to follow Ash wherever?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Girl's skipping.
As she leads you and you make it to the first set of corridors, you look and there's no wall. It's just like this metal grate walkway thing. And if you look through the grate, you can't see how far down it goes. Like, you're probably a few thousand feet from the bottom here. So, there's that. If you want to explore any of these side corridors, it might be fun. And Ash says, "Is there anything you guys want to see here, or should we get on with the mission?" This floor is not particularly interesting, if I remember correctly.
Why are we here?
We're changing carriages, let's say. This is it's the maintenance floor, if I remember correctly. And the elevator down to the more closed off areas is over here.
And then he's going to scan the area, see if there's anything sparky or interesting that catches his attention to see if he can pick up something.
Okay, sorry, my headphones just kind of crackled. What'd you say?
And then he's just going to scan the area and see if there's anything interesting within reach.
Sure. Give me a discern realities.
Of course. This is how we start.
Shit. Okay, so I'm getting word from them that the stream isn't going. What the hell am I streaming to then? That's weird. Hold on one second.
Pardon with the technical difficulties.
Don't we love random OBS updates?
That's great. Okay, so it's working now. I don't know what the hell. I guess if you're tuning in now, check the VOD out later because it's got the first 27 minutes of the video that you missed.
Oh, joy.
Maybe some important stuff in there.
God, I hate computers so much.
That's when we found out that the Monarchy is just a big giant fighting robot. It was a really crazy 27 minutes.
Now we're just trying to figure out which key goes in which, robot part and which order we have to twist them in. And then, he who slumbers is going down. Okay, ask me a question off of that discern realities list, and I'm going to give you a bad answer.
It's basically what here is useful or valuable to me.
Okay. Those bracers that Ash have are a metal that you haven't seen before, and you're pretty sure that they would probably look better on you.
Yeah, he would if he wasn't under the threat of that Royal Guard and if Ash weren't the head of the Monarchy, so he's going to skip that.
It's totally fine. It'll be totally fine. Just as a fashion friend, I need to take those.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Just totally steal from your employer. It'll go great.
Be a predator. Steal.
It worked for Ash. Or did it?
We don't know. We haven't read the rest of the book.
What are you saying, Daniel?
6 will also be having a look around
Okay.
to scan the area.
Sure. Roll it. How
I
fitting.
saw that number.
How fitting that 6 would roll a 6. So most important thing is mark XP, and then ask me one of those questions, and I will tell you some lies.
What here is not what it appears to be.
As you approach these weird sliding doors that Ash walks into at the end of the hallway, it's kind of... Oh. Whatever. Ignore that part. There's sets of doors here, 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 and she walks into the middle ones. It's like this small, pristine white room. And you are relatively sure, just based on the size of it and the layout, that if this is where people gathered, that left one obviously is going to be an armory, and you should get in there.
I guess just to follow suit, Randall discern realities too.
Girl's perfectly fine with her surroundings right now. She's not going to discern realities.
So Randall, what are you what are you doing to assess the situation? Is there any like
He's just going to look for something valuable.
There's a potted plant here and here. Both of them are a variety you haven't seen before. And they've both sort of overgrown their pot and are taking up most of this wall and this wall. And up at the top of one of the branches, you see this weird thing that seems to glint in the light. It's round, kind of reddish. It's kind of hard to see exactly what it is from here, but it's about 9 feet up, if you want to give it a climb.
What would that require?
Mm,
I just climb up there?
probably, yeah, you can just climb up there.
All right.
The consequences of failure are not interesting, so.
All right, I'll climb up there and take a look, and if it's interesting, I'll grab it.
So it's a clear sphere on a chain. There's little gold bands on the outside of the sphere, kind of cutting it up into quadrants. And inside the sphere, there is a bluish greenish stone that seems to be sort of just floating, suspended in the middle of it.
All right. Randall's going to grab it, go over to Ash, and ask her if she knows what it is.
That could be one of a few things. Those are libraries of information, if my information is correct. If we could find something to read it, that could be very valuable. It could be somebody's personal journal. It could be a family cookbook. There's really no way to know until we use it, but this one seems to be relatively well protected and valuable, so I'd say it's probably worth hanging on to.
All right. Then Randall will, I guess, store it away for now until they can assess what's on it.
Sounds good. Are y'all getting into the elevator?
Girl's already in the elevator standing next to Ash.
Six pauses for a minute to look at the other door, and she makes a little bit of a face, and then she goes back into the elevator.
Okay, nobody push anything, or else this is going to take even longer.
Girl pushes all the buttons.
Oh god.
Six does not react at all to girls meddling.
And notices that there's a lot of pushing, and then quickly tries to jump into the elevator before it closes.
Get in, and she holds it open so you can get in. And after girl pushes all the buttons, she sighs, pushes her thumb against a panel, and then pushes 88 4 times, and then every other thing on the panel flips over and is like hidden. And then you feel your stomach in your throat as this thing begins to rocket downwards like ridiculously quickly. And I mean, you probably cover it at least a few hundred feet, just based on how quickly you're falling. But you come to a gentle stop, and then Excuse me. And then a pleasant voice says, 88th floor, research and development.
And then stumbles out of the elevator, that's quite busy, holding his head and with a hand on the edge of the door.
Yeah, it seems like you all aren't built for that kind of speed for the most part.
Girl actually jumped up when the elevator went down. She was just jumping on the elevator.
So did she hit her head on the ceiling?
I think, yeah, there was at least one bonk. It wasn't like enough to hurt or break anything, because I mean this elevator's pretty durable, but there was at least one thunk. And then Ash tries to suppress a smile.
Randall
Ow!
says, congratulations, girl. You have not killed us yet.
Girl looks at you, looks you dead in the eye, and she says, "Your death will involve screaming." And then goes back to what she was doing.
Lovely.
Hey, we're gonna need to get to that later.
He's prey. What can I say?
And then she stares at the girl, somewhat creeped out and partially, somewhat creeped out.
She smiles a big smile at you, Edmund.
Okay, so here's the game plan for this. I'm responsible for kind of all of you right now, so I'm gonna need you to tone down the creepy about 70%, and we'll get along fine.
I'm sorry.
You're not in trouble. I'm not your mom. I'm not anybody's mom. I'm just in order to necessitate better cooperation between the team
My
members.
mom is dead.
I'm sorry for that.
She was eaten.
That's even worse.
And then the animal that ate her was set on fire.
That'll do it, I suppose. So, wow, okay. So your mission here is, I'm going to need, discretion from you all, and I'm almost starting to regret the random allotment of people that I've been given to an extent when it comes to discretion. Some of you I know I can trust, and there's a quick flash of the eyes over towards 6.
6 nods. Very slowly.
But I would really appreciate it if none of you asked questions about what I might be coming back with, and the less that you know of this place this far down, the better. I don't know how clear I can make that, but this is not a good place.
Randall
If
shrugs.
I-
and says, you hold up your end, I'll hold up my end.
If you solve my little issue with the guard, then I will stay as quiet as a dead man can be.
I appreciate that. It would be a real shame for me to have to enforce silence in other ways. It's a thing I'm willing to do for the good of the town, but let's not dwell on possible dark thoughts, let's say. Anyway, so I'm going to need you all to see if you can find any supplies that we can bring back. I want you to scout as much of this floor as you can. Safely do. If things get super tough, come back. I guess we need some way to communicate. Oh, okay.
We could always use bird calls. And she just, caw-caw, caw-caw.
We could. This floor tends to be a little bit windy. Okay, do you see this red box right here? And she points to a fire alarm on the wall. And she says, if things go bad and you need to get out immediately, I want you to break the glass on this and pull that handle down. Do not do it right now. things will happen, and we'll be in a bit of a lockdown, and I'll be a little bit perturbed if our mission ends before it even starts.
Girl puts her hands in her pockets.
There's a lot to do, and if we do this properly, we could save quite a few lives.
Understood.
Excellent. So, good luck to you all. I have a specific place I'm looking for, so let's regroup here in, let's say, 2 hours? Does that seem like enough time?
Very well. Very well.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
And then sets up to examine the place. And meanwhile, he takes out his dagger and a small vial of a venom or poison and applies it to the dagger.
Okay. Which poison are you putting on there? The crap. What's it called? Brain fart.
Is the serpent steers.
Okay. Sounds good.
Girl walks up behind him. Hey, what you doing?
And then startles for a second, but he's got a good grip on the vial before opening. Then stares at Gar. Please stay away. And then tries to apply the venom.
Girl pouts, and she's like, sounds like a prey to me. And continues on.
And quickly turns around after having applied venom. And just stares like all again before shaking it off and looking around again.
All right, so Ash goes out of this room, goes into 2 hallways. I'm just going to do hallways as lines at this point because it's easier that way. So Ash follows the red dotted line and goes out to the east. There's a hallway leaving this room from east and west, let's say, and it looks like each of those comes to, each of those comes to an intersection. So you've got some choices on which way you want to go. So what do y'all want to do?
Girl's already walking toward the west.
All right, let's go to the crossroads there.
Okay.
Can we see down how far they lead?
So the lights in this area, they don't really come on until you're basically right underneath them. It seems to be some sort of person detector or something. But once you get to the intersection, you can faintly see. It looks like there's a door further west ahead of you, and the path continues north and south as well.
The door to this room is closed.
Yes.
Is there anything on it that might identify what kind of a room it is that we're looking at?
There is some kind of... It almost looks like some sort of code designation. It says B88-S-1-A.
Is the door locked?
No. This one does not appear to be locked.
Girl skips up and opens the door.
There is a person asleep in here. It does not seem to be particularly restful sleep, but they are wearing strange clothes and sort of twitching and making weird groaning sounds.
Girl walks up to the person. and pokes him.
Uh, You look weird. Why are you here? I'm gonna get in trouble if I. Oh no, I fell asleep again. That explains the ads. Okay. I'll get back to
What?
work. I promise.
Work? Who are you?
I work here.
Yes, but who are you?
You want my name?
That's why I asked your name.
My name is 2Z, and he holds out his arm, and there's like a brand on it, and it's like this long series of letters and numbers, and the end of it is 2-Z.
The girl looks at the letters and she's like, "What's your job? What do you do?"
I'm an indent. I don't have a lot of choice in what I do. It's kind of whatever people tell me to do.
Now that's a prey talking. Anyone has choice.
Do you not know how indents work? I mean, I have choice of either I die for breaking contract or I work until the contract is fulfilled.
Randall kind of slides over and says, "Does that mean you'll do what we say?"
I don't think you work for Transigen.
No, we do. We do.
Do you have an ID?
Randall says, "Yes."
Can I see it? I only listen. I've been trained to only listen to certain people who are clearance level blue or higher, and I don't even think you're supposed to be down here. But I can't really report you because I was asleep on the job. What do you need? What do you want? Please don't tell on me. They'll probably add another decade to my time.
Can I parlay with him?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. That's charisma.
That is, what are you saying to him?
Oh, I'm gonna try to convince him that he doesn't need to see that it's more important that he doesn't upset us because we might report him,
Okay.
and that he shouldn't be asking so many questions.
That's fucked up. I like it. Go. 7. Let me double check something. Oh, sorry. Parlay. The 7 plus, they ask you for something related to whatever leverage you have. If your leverage is they will do what you ask, but need some concrete assurance of your promise right now.
So I'm going to tell him that I won't report him to anybody for sleeping on the job.
You swear?
I say, yes, I swear I will not report you.
He holds his hands up, and there's this little, it looks like an arc of electricity between his index and middle finger. He says, "Okay, let's pact on it."
Randall kind of makes the same gesture.
And he grabs your hand and touches it to his, and there's like a brief tingle that runs up your arm. And he goes, "All right."
And Randall says, "I will not report you."
Okay.
And he kind of looks over to Edmund to make sure that he caught what Randall said.
Edmund is kind of busy inspecting the locked door nearby, the B881A door, and trying to picklock it.
Well, that door wasn't locked. Y'all are already in there talking to this dude.
Oh, what was it locked door?
Nothing's locked so far. This is the only door y'all came across.
Huh.
Excuse me.
Edmund
You
should.
didn't catch that, right?
Edmund did not get that. He was just looking around and looking for supplies.
It's probably totally fine.
Okay.
He says, "All right, well, what do you need me to do?"
We are going to need your help.
Okay, I mean, with what? I don't have a whole lot of clearance. I mean, right now I'm mostly tasked with janitorial and maintenance. Sometimes.
Randall kind of gestures over to Six and says, Six, why don't you tell him exactly what we need?
Very well. We are looking for any supplies that may be available on this level.
I mean, this class has got like cleaning supplies. If that'll help. I mean, we've got the cafeteria. If you need food, we have one of those. We have a meal rep, so it's not super fancy, but I mean, it can make most basic things.
Helmut hears food and then suddenly pays attention. Where is this food machine?
If you go back to the intersection, you take a right. It's the only thing it's at the end of the hall. You can't miss it.
And proceeds to go there
He looks down
as soon as he heard that.
He looks down at his wrist and he says, I mean, lunch probably isn't for another hour or two, but I think they might let you in, if you have the clearance you need. It'll probably be fine. Yeah.
Do you have the clearance?
No, not unless there's a spill.
Six will fish around in her adventuring supplies for some pen and paper. Or she would, except that I don't seem to have actually taken them. Never mind.
You mentally do it and then realize you can't physically do it, and then you curse silently under your breath.
Anyway,
Another 6 takes out the pen and paper.
Oh wait, it's not
Can-
this.
Randall says, hey, in fact, I think that I heard that there was a spill in the cafeteria that you need to take care of.
No, I mean, if there was a spill, that light right there would come on, and I mean, it's not on, so I can't just go down there if it's not
Randall
within
says,
the allowed time.
no, that light's defective. And he bonks it a few times and see it's not coming on.
Give me a luck roll, just 2d6 with no modifier.
God! I knew that was going to happen too.
You punch a very sturdy metal alloy panel, and you take 2 punch damage to your hand, but it remains not lit.
So do I just take that much hit point damage?
Yeah. He says, "Look,
How many
man,
hit points do I have?
I have no idea.
How many constitution is it?
It's your Constitution score plus a flat number. You have an arcane duelist. I think it's like 6 or something, maybe, when you make a character.
Okay.
It should be on the sheet somewhere, or the actual like fillable sheet. It should tell you. Excuse me.
8 plus constitution. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. So I have taken 2 damage.
So he says, "Look, I'm awake. I'm gonna go back to my duties. Look, there's maybe you can convince somebody on the farm to let you in. It's possible. I've got to go. I've got to go prep the proteins for shipment. I gotta see if I can."
What proteins for shipment, and what do you mean by shipment?
I mean, they just woke me up a little while ago. But that's usually what I do at this time of day. Is there's these fabricators that they use to make different medicines and stuff like that. And if you put the proteins in there, it sort of uses those to make things with the right kinds of, I guess, fuel, if you want to call it. How do you guys not know what fabricators are? They're everywhere. Look, you put stuff in the top and then you can make other stuff with it. It's a fabricator. It fabricates. It's in the name.
Randall says, "We're just testing you on what you know. We're inspectors of the fabricators."
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be here. They're gonna write you up a demerit for being off of your normal rotation, and the fab hallways are over there. And he points off to the left down the intersection that you guys came from.
All right.
Meanwhile, what do I encounter? I went down the hallway that he pointed out.
The hallway is relatively long, and you're able to walk it long enough to where you start to wonder if you're actually making any progress or getting anywhere. And it's kind of hard to tell because the lights, they only come on when you're directly underneath them, and then they shut back off. So distance is hard to tell, but after a while, you make it to. Boop. Oh no! Oh, there we go. Wait,
That's a long hallway.
I had it. Damn it! No, gimme, son of a bitch! I broke something. I'm just gonna draw it over the thing I already drew because it's not letting me move between layers. There's a room here. You can't see that either because it's still in the GM layer. Hold on. There's a room here. Can you see that?
Yes.
God. Okay. Tonight's been a technical difficulty. Sorry. It's got these double doors. It's got a couple sets of them actually. One of them says inflow and one says outflow. And there's a red light over the inflow door. And both sets appear to be closed right now. The room inside is dark, but you can hear something.
Is it a pickable lock?
There doesn't appear to be an actual key lock here. There's these weird boxes towards the top of the door that seem to be pulling the door closed.
So there are boxes behind the door?
They're kind of at the top of the door, on your side.
Can I try to pull them out?
It's kind of an awkward thing to do. I'd probably need a defy danger strength to actually get him out of there.
Alright. Oh,
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
He really wants the food.
So, in the process of pulling, you actually brace your feet against the door, and you're just wrenching at it, and eventually you hear there's a groan of metal, and then you hear a popping sound, and then another one, and then another one, and then finally you realize it's come loose when you kind of sail back about 5 feet or so and then land on your back in the middle of the hallway with a box in your hand.
nice.
Can we hear that from down the hall?
There's a faint echo of some sort of commotion if you're at the intersection, but it's kind of hard to hear exactly what it is.
I think we're still in the room at this point.
I give a quick look at the box before try to head inside.
Okay. It's it doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. It's got these two black strips on it. Let me. So you got the box, you got the wires where it was plugged into the top, and there's these strips across kind of the top and bottom half of it. They seem to be like more crude than the rest of the box, but it's kind of hard to figure out what the hell they were for since they're not hooked up to a thing anymore and they're not doing anything.
Okay, he just puts the box down and then tries to enter the room.
You walk in and it is a enormous room. About, I mean, it's really kind of hard to make out the distance in here, but the ceiling here is a bit higher than it is in the hallway. There's this feeling of like this is a place for relaxing. There's the smell of warm food, but not the sight of warm food anywhere. This room's dark, and you can hear something milling around in here. At least two somethings. There's just this occasional zzz, 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 zzz.
And then takes out and readies the poison dagger.
Okay.
And then tries to look around, inspect the area, see if there's anything with food.
Sure. Give me a discern realities. 8. You get one question.
What here is useful to me?
Along, let me draw it. Draw it in like pink. Along the eastern and western walls, there are these. I mean, it looks like just a solid wall of these machines that are set in there, and it appears to have like a menu over them. Different ones have different things as you inspect them. There's no like words, but some of it appears to be like some sort of cut of animal on bread and strips of something. And then there's one that looks like some sort of vegetable with a cut of animal on top of it. And one of them's just some vegetables piled up with some sort of sauce on them. You know, stuff like that.
And there are like buttons corresponding to them.
The pictures have like this light glow to them. They don't appear to be any other buttons or anything, but the pictures themselves seem to be glowing.
And then inspecting the machine, just rubs his finger over the piece of meat one.
Okay.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, so you touch it, and there's a little bing, and it says, "Please present identification." Please present identification.
And just sighs, and then he screamed, "Hey, some help over here!"
You hear the weird, intermittent, sort of hissing, banging sound getting closer to you. And while that's happening, what are the rest of you doing?
Randall's going to try to convince this guy to lead them to the replicators.
Look, I have to get back on my shift. You know, I've answered your questions, but just please, I don't know how much longer I could stand being in those the stasis machines. The ads never stop. Just let me get back to my job.
Girl raises her hand.
Hi.
What's a stasis machine?
So, when you're an indentured servant, like I am, and he shows his brand again, he says, basically, until you fulfill the terms of your contract, which is working for a specific amount of time, which is where they get you, apparently, they can put you in storage, basically, for as long as they want, until they decide they need you.
Girl raises her hand again.
Hi.
Can you show us where those are? So we can... those sound like something that we should probably see.
They're not on this floor, and I can't get you there. I woke up here.
Six will interrupt at this point. Excuse us, our comrade seems to have gone off on his own. He'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Did you say con man?
Comrade.
Oh, comrade. Sorry. I thought you said con man, and that was going to make me a lot more worried about this whole thing. Okay, well,
Oh
No, that's Randall.
I'm in here.
okay, well, just be careful, and please remember our agreement. Don't tell anybody I was asleep.
I will not tell anybody that you were asleep.
You keep emphasizing I. Why do you keep doing that?
I noticed that too, kid. I'm not liking it a whole lot.
Liars are often prey.
Okay.
Don't you leave this spot. We will be back.
Sure. And he makes this like, okay, buddy. Mm-hmm.
Girl looks back at him. It was a pleasure meeting you. She holds her hand out.
You too, kid. And he shakes your hand.
Randall's gonna do a quick.
Would you like some pipeweed?
I can't. No, don't. I'm not gonna. They drug test us every day. Please don't.
Okay, I mean it's really good. Helps you relax. You seem very edgy.
I've got a lot to be edgy about right now.
Randall's gonna do a quick scan of the room for valuables, discern realities.
Okay. Nine. Ask a question.
What is valuable or useful?
There's this weird canister with what seems to be like a hose and a pump handle on the top. It appears. I mean, it's mostly. What is it? It's translucent, so you can tell there's nothing in it. But that could probably be pretty useful. And
so it's a hose and a what?
It's basically like one of those little pump sprayers where if you want to spray poison in your yard.
Okay.
Randall,
grab that.
Okay.
And say official business. Don't mind me.
Whatever, man. Look, just whatever. So yeah, that thing's got like it's one weight against your capacity, and then aside from that, you see a box of these weird granules that has pictures of mice on it.
Like, does it?
I know what they are.
Yeah, the box has like these weird. It appears like crudely drawn mice. And if you open the box, it's got these pellets in it. And something about it seems of use to you.
Pocket those.
Totally safe.
So Randall takes those as well.
Okay. 6, what are you up to when all this stuff is happening?
We're down the hallway to go and check on Edmund.
Okay. You see Edmund right about the same time that the thing that was coming for Edmund gets to Edmund.
Oh,
The girl is also falling not too far behind 6 at this point.
So, like, as you make it to the doorway, you see this small cone of light illuminating Edmund in the room, And this thing walks into the cone of light, and it's like, based on Edmund's height and a quick extrapolations, probably about like 6.5, 7 feet tall. It is about the same shape as like an average humanoid, like not too thin, not too bulky. Except instead of skin, it's all just metal. And it looks down, and it leans close to Edmund and kind of gets unnecessarily close to his ear and says, "Hello, user, you requested assistance."
Edmund just jumps and takes a few steps back before looking at the thing. Hi.
"Hello, user, you requested assistance."
Yes, can these things serve me food? They seem like they should.
"Affirmative, the food replicators replicate food."
Can we get some?
"With proper identification, anyone can retrieve food from the food replicators." "Query.
Edmund just
Query, user. Where is your identification? Corporate requirements state that it must be shown on your person above the waist at all times."
Yes, I left it on that table over there. He points in the opposite direction, away, like across the thing.
It looks down at your finger, does like a quick scan back and forth, and then the head rotates independently of the body to look where you're pointing. The table glows green for a second. And it goes, "Negative, user. No identification found on table."
Edmund was going to take that distraction as a chance to backstab the guy.
Okay. Fuck. Do you have a special backstab move?
Yes.
Yes, and I also have chip shot.
All right.
Oh! Great job.
Backstab. When you attack a surprise or defenseless enemy, you rolled a 5. Great.
Such prey.
So,
Have Randall and Girl caught up by now, or are we still running down the hall?
yeah, I'm gonna say y'all all get here right when the knife enters the robot. There's this. It's like a weird clank sound as, you're not sure exactly what gives first, but you can't pull your dagger back out. It either bent inside this thing or got stuck on the plate or something, but now sticking out of the shoulder of this metal person is like the hilt of a dagger, and the head spins around immediately and it says, "Deploying countermeasures," and it slaps you across the face really, really hard. So I need you to roll me a d8, and also you could do your damage to it too.
Oh, also. So it takes 5 damage.
Okay. 5. Is that the damage for you or your backstab damage to it?
That was my damage to me.
Okay.
So I roll my damage plus 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, plus.
He still gets damage? Nice.
Yeah, since he gets hurt. Backstab
Wait,
also
so-
lets you pick a thing to do extra damage, but he doesn't get to pick any of those. But I think with backstab, the enemy is defenseless, so the attack still goes through. You just don't get any of the perks, and you also get a little counterattack.
Yeah, so I guess I will roll a normal 1d8 plus the 1d6 from chip shot, or
Yes.
do I also roll 1d6 from backstab?
You don't get the backstab one, but you do get the cheap shot one. So D8 plus D6 is fine. All right.
No way. Hold on. No way.
Way. 3 damage out of a D8 and a D6. That's
Wow.
That's... No.
Those getting those low rolls out of the way.
Just how? It won't let me see the values, but wow.
So after you get backhanded, you're sent sprawling a little bit, and I think that's what helps you close the distance to your friends who just arrived. Is you're just sliding on your back on this well-polished tile floor, and you kind of slide into the door that you didn't break the box off of, and there's just a light boonk.
Question. Did the damage to myself ignore armor or still with armor?
Still with armor.
Alright, so I'm back with the crew.
Yes, so you're all reunited, and
It feels so good.
yeah, this thing is just trotting to you determinedly. It seems pretty unfazed.
If the dagger was poisoned, since it's a revolver, it doesn't affect him, right?
Yeah, I don't think poison affects robots.
Yeah, I got it.
Does this count as a humanoid? Just wondering.
I guess technically, like, it's humanoid. I think humanoid usually is kind of related to size and shape. No, size and shape, but it's also kind of like anatomy stuff, because like undead are humanoid in size, but they're also like skeletons and shit. So I'm gonna say this is a construct.
Okay.
Hello again.
Such prey.
6 steps over Edmund's prone body. Her eyes light up, but she frees her sword from her back sheath. And she says, "Very well." And without breaking stride, she meets the construct midway, I suppose.
Okay.
Randall takes out his rapier and says, "We were doing so well, too."
I want to go ahead and roll this before I say how it's going, I think.
Sure. I'm okay with that. 7. So you also get attacked. So work that into your description and let me know how it goes.
So I'm imagining 6 and the construct trading blows on this one. She, with her shield up in one arm, she swings her sword down with some kind of unintelligible shriek and takes a left hook right on the jaw or something.
Yeah, I think like your hit is solid. So roll your damage, and the movement is quicker than you've seen like a person move. It seemed like the hands were here, and then all of a sudden one of them was just buried in your gut, just knocking the wind right out of you. So, right, doing hammer.
No, I didn't set that to roll a d4.
All right, so yeah, you have merciless. Okay, so
Girl leans down to Edmund at this point, and she's like, "She's a predator."
Oh, good for her.
Randall is going to kind of bring up his rapier and hold it, and he's going to use his flawless blade master ability on the robot.
okay, what's that do? Oh, look at that. When you attempt to incorporate magic. Oh, that. Right. Okay.
So he's going to. Let me see. What are my? Let me look at which techniques I have.
Sure.
I guess I'm going to try to do elaborate, which is a intelligence roll. So I got it.
So that means it looks fancy and it does something good, right?
Yes, it does. Oh, I get to do it. Elaborate is when you apply this technique, roll plus. Oh no, it's a plus dex, not a plus.
Okay. Well, what's your dex mod?
Oh, dex is +2 anyway. It's the
Okay.
same roll.
Yeah, it's the same.
On +10, deal an additional 1d8 damage.
Nice.
And I get to do something really cool.
Nobody wants to do anything cool. What are you talking about? That's not why we play RPGs.
So 1d8.
I do this for mundane sensations, really.
So that's the additional damage that it does, and the base damage is.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so Randall says, "This hand of mine is burning red. Its loud roar tells me to defeat you." And then his hand starts glowing red, and he says, "Take this, my love, my hate, and all of my sorrow." And he reaches forward and he grabs up the robot and says, "Shining, burning finger," and a kind of explosion comes out from his hand.
Okay. So I guess the way it works cinematically is Six runs up, gets the hit in, this thing punches her, and I think she maybe staggers back a couple steps just to kind of recompose herself. And you come in and you do your anime thing, and you blow up the robot, and the body crumples to the ground, just in time for you to notice the sort of slapping sound of bare feet against the floor as a figure comes out of the shadows and just with this full bore punch right across your jaw. Roll a d10 for me.
Ouch.
Four. Okay. So it seems to be like multiple blows that they don't do a ton of damage, but they're sort of like probing for weaknesses. You get a punch, and as that sets you off balance, another hand grabs your shoulder and pulls you in, and then there's like another blow on the shoulder, and then like one to the leg, and it's almost lightning fast, and then this thing hops backwards, and it's maybe 10 or 15 feet, and it lands perfectly on its feet. And
Does armor reduce that at all?
yes.
Okay, so 3 damage.
And you see the hands as it makes, like, it gets into a fighting stance, and then the hands peel back, and these like blades come out from where the hand is,
Mudada.
and then it says engaging. Sorry, hiccups.
I forgot to ask earlier, does my armor apply?
Yeah, for all these, unless I tell you it's piercing, the armor applies.
So I took no damage.
Yep. I gotta find a way to break
Is it
everybody's
going to
armor.
roll?
So this one says engaging subdual protocols. You will submit, or you will be disposed of.
Is there a red box nearby covering glass?
You see one kind of by the doors. It appears to be in between the two sets of doors.
Girl's gonna. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say if Gerd was going to do an action.
Yeah, girl's gonna slowly walk up, and she's like, "Submission is for prey." crack her knuckles and then transform.
Okay.
And she's going to try to transform into a wolf. But I have to see if she can or not. I rolled a 9, so I get to hold 2.
Okay. So you look like a wolf. Trying to think of good moves for the wolves.
Oh, also, when she transforms into a wolf, part of this is where you notice half of the face of the wolf is kind of like melted with black ink, and it's a skull on the other half instead of an eye.
Great. It's not bad at all.
That's a pretty good look.
It's a pretty rockin' wolf. He doesn't take shit from anybody. I mean, I guess he does take some shit from people because she's missing part of her face. Yeah, so wolves have that good kind of agility sort of thing. So I'm going to say if you want, you can hack and slash with Dex. And regardless of the roll, if you want to do an extra d6 and open yourself up to attack, you can do it.
Okay. She's going to go in and charge and bite this thing.
Okay.
So, like, she transforms into the wolf, jumps, and goes to bite. That's how that one's going.
Sure.
And hopefully she actually does bite. And she doesn't have plus to anything, so she's just going to do... I think she doesn't. Let me double check that.
It's going to be great. You don't need to worry about that. It's fine. It's totally great.
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to go super badly. As always.
5. Huh. Okay. So, you jump. This thing hunches down, puts both swords into you, catches you in midair, and throws you across the room back towards the door. So it's gonna be a D10 damage, and one of that, like it's gonna pierce through at least one of or through one of your armor, rather.
Nice.
Ouch! Jesus.
Yeah, she's fine.
That amount of damage does seem appropriate for the thing that just happened. So
Yeah, it does.
you're being thematic, and I appreciate that.
Girl begins to growl.
If it was a 1, that would have been hilarious.
Some sort of blade wolf. You have been found in violation of weapons protocols, lunchroom etiquette protocols, and transformation protocols. Please cease and submit to judgment, or you will be disposed of.
What is the judgment? Randall kind of asks sarcastically.
Trial followed by a forced period of indentured servitude.
And then eventually gets up and asks, and who is going to hold the trial?
I am programmed with judiciary protocols.
Can it be perhaps someone with what was it, ultraviolet authority thing?
Can I parlay with this robot?
I don't think at the moment it is actively hostile to you, so I don't think parlay would work. Also, when you mention the ultraviolet thing, it says, users with ultraviolet access may always countermand any orders.
And she just looks at them and says, I think we got a car on our sleeves.
What color is my signet ring?
Bluish greenish. Oh, the signet ring. That one's like just like gray. It's like some shaped stone on the ring.
Okay.
You're not that lucky. Sorry.
I have an idea of what to do next.
Fight it.
Yeah, well, I have a really cool idea of a move. But I want plenty of other people to go first.
If nobody else is going to continue fighting, then 6 will fight.
Oh no, I'm going to continue fighting because it's cool. But 6 should go first.
Okay. Well, go for it, 6.
And on trial.
All right. You got another 9, so we're just trading blows over here, That's the way it goes sometimes. So are you trying to do like the same move, or what is 6 bringing to this fight? Excuse me.
And since that side of the room is kind of clear of people, she will sweep wide across the room with her great sword.
Nice. Yeah, you get a hit in, and before it can dig in too deeply. Actually, I guess roll your damage so we can see how deeply it digs. 4. Okay. Yeah, it begins to like bite into this thing's body, and whatever is under the fleshy surface doesn't give the way that skin and bone do. So it sort of stops your attack, and then with the other arm, it slashes right across your stomach.
It was 7 damage.
Okay. So we're at and that arm doesn't seem to be functioning as well, the one that you just hit. But I need you to roll me a d10 with 1 piercing.
Damn.
Okay.
It's a nice 10.
Yes,
Wow,
and
we
that
will not be taking that.
that negates one of your armor. So I don't remember how much armor you have. I always trust you guys for that much. So however much damage that is.
Girl is going to, at this point, when it's like, jump up as a wolf, but in midway, I'm going to transform into a sand shark and try to bite this thing as a sand shark.
Okay.
So I'll do another transformation roll.
Sorry, what were you saying, Danielle?
Hang on, can I finish my narration here?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, sorry.
So, 6 gets a cut across the stomach. And she just licks her lips.
Weird. I like it.
So it's a nasty looking scar.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems totally unmoved by it. And we'll take the scarred ability.
Nice. Okay, so you're using that thing to take abilities instead of damage?
Mm-hmm.
What level is 6?
3.
Nice.
Just so you can see that.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, yeah. So you take the scarred ability. Luckily for you, I don't think you're gonna have to use charisma in the immediate future. Yeah. So, girl, you were going to shark some things.
Yep, shapes for first. 8. Okay, so I get to hold 2.
Okay. Just as far as it says you have any abilities and weaknesses of the form. Sharks aren't
Sand shark.
right. Sand sharks aren't super built for flight, and they can't really dig through a tile floor. So I mean, you can get this bite, and I'll give you, let's say an extra D40 or damage if you do sharky stuff. But that's one of those things where you're going to open yourself up to counterattack again because you're a giant shark that's thrashing on something.
That's fair.
Okay.
But do I get it? What was my holds on the shark, if I may? Because she's jumping up as the wolf and transforming mid thing to do the bite as the shark.
Yeah. While you're a shark, let's say you have you can add one to a strength check or a con check for a hold, since
Okay.
sharks are tough.
Okay, sweet.
11. Okay. So that's a very good attack. Would you like to open yourself up to attack to do an extra d6?
Well, am I going to be getting 2 attacks because of a shark?
Well, so there's 2 questions. The first question is, do you want to open yourself up to attack and do an extra d6?
No, I'm not going to do that.
And then the second question is, do you want to open yourself up to attack and do an extra d4?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. So just regular
Girl's
damage.
going to basically bite and then transform back into girl as she after she does the bite.
Okay.
So I
Shark
roll
definitely avoids attack.
4 damage.
Okay. Excuse me. So yeah, you don't get counterattack. Dang it.
Some very stylish action happening tonight.
Yeah. You take a chunk out of this thing. I think that arm is kind of just on the ground at this point. Like you finally severed it. There's a shower of sparks and oil, it smells like.
So
And-
is it doing less damage with less arms?
I mean, a sword is still a sword, so
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that. Sorry.
no, you're good. So yeah, this thing is not looking great, and it's trying to slash at you, but you're able to get out of the way of those attacks.
All right, Randall's going to step up and try another flawless blade master on him.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
So it does damage to you, and you do damage to him.
Let's see. I apply damage. Lovely. And I apply one of my techniques to him. Does this thing have armor? If I did freezing to it, would that...
There is armor. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to use freezing on it.
Okay. And what's the text on freezing?
Your attack freezes and shatters a portion of your opponent's armor. After you deal your damage, reduce their armor by 1 until they repair it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you hit, and then there's this kind of spreading of ice crystals across the torso, and you can actually hear this hiss as the body begins to glow slightly, and these vents open up kind of all across the torso, and it's just radiating heat now. But it seems like some of the armor plates are not in the way anymore.
Randall says, feel the frozen winds of the north.
And this thing's going to stab you in the leg as you're talking for the counterattack. So that's a D10 with 1 piercing, just straight in your leg.
Feel the frozen. Oh God!
Okay, so that's only 2. Nice.
I guess while he expected how everyone just avoided his attempt at a diplomatic resolution, and then she just goes and tries to pull the dagger out of that other robot's corpse.
Wait, the diplomatic solution. You're the one who stabbed it to begin with.
Yeah, but he did it when I wasn't paying attention. Which diplomacy? Hello.
Wait, this is the second robot?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
That dagger could belong to anyone.
It could even be a boat. Okay, so that dagger is in there pretty firmly. Give me a defy danger strength to rip it out of there. 7.
Okay.
Okay. Either you get the dagger and the countermeasure, or you don't get either.
I'll get the countermeasure.
Okay, so you have your dagger, and this dart comes out of the chest of the robot, and it hits you right in the chest, and immediately where it hits you, you go numb there.
Oh joy. It's a poison, isn't it?
Not one that you're familiar with, at least. Yeah, so it hits you, and it's harder to force your lungs to take in air.
Okay.
But I mean, for now, hey, it's whatever. You got your dagger back, so mission accomplished, right?
Elmond is going to regret that later.
That's probably fine. So as y'all are doing this, you hear a door slam open from the other side of the room, and Ash walks in, and she's got something slung across her back in that bag. She says, "What did you do?"
I can totally explain this.
Why?
Randall points and says, "His fault. His fault."
They're not supposed to be all fighty.
This the second one's not destroyed yet, right?
No, it's not.
So
I tried to get some food from those things, and then he tried to ask me for some authorization thing.
Then you don't get food. 6, what were you saying?
she was going to say something to Ash, but I'm thinking she's just going to continue fighting the robot.
Okay.
So her sword is still kind of stuck in its side, so she'll aim at one of the now exposed vents with her shield to bash it.
Okay. Roll that hack and slash for me, and poof.
Damn.
Would you like to open
Jeez.
yourself up to attack to do extra damage?
Absolutely.
That's what I love to hear. Okay. So roll your damage plus your d6, and then we'll see how badly this thing is hurt, and kind of go from there.
So I get a d10, a d6, a d4.
Great.
Fighters.
So 11 damage. Great. And he's also got 1 less armor. Fantastic. Forgot about that. So, like, as you're winding back with your shield, Ash is like, no. And then you connect, and there's this crumple, and it lurches forward and stabs you in the leg, and like falls kind of into you a little bit, and you can hear something inside winding down, and then there's this bubbling sound, and then steam exits through all the vents, and the thing goes still. So d10 plus 1 piercing. Sorry, not d10 plus 1. d10, 1 of its piercing. Damage to you. So 5. Yeah, this thing falls over, and like halfway across the room, Ash stops, and she kind of pulls at her hair. She says, "Okay, they didn't know. It's okay. Okay, can we?"
Randall kind of turns and says, "So, did you have ultraviolet clearance?"
I do. I don't want to get into how I have it, but yes, I have it. I could have resolved this without killing people.
Meanwhile, Six is pulling her sword free of this thing's metal carcass.
Did you all find anything useful? I've got most of what I came here for. I don't know where the protein slurry
We
stuff
do.
Yeah, we found out where those.
We know what
things
that
are.
is.
Randall's gonna start bandaging himself up with the bandages he bought.
Girl's gonna point in the direction. It's that way.
Edmund points into the one of the dispensers he was trying to use.
Can I just use as many bandages as it takes to restore me to full health?
Okay, just roll a d4 for each one. I think it is. No, that's just you heal 4 with each one, right?
Yeah.
You're okay. Yeah.
So,
No, go for it.
is Edmund going to tell us about that dart that he just got stuck with a minute ago?
It's a good
I
question.
mean, he's already panting.
Girl's gonna walk up to him. Did you get poisoned?
I think it's
Okay.
probably fine.
Well, you really are prey. And then she hands you an antitoxin.
And then grabs it and looks at it and says, "Thanks." Before uncorking it and drinking it.
As you grab it, she's gonna lean into. Next time, I won't have this. And then she lets go.
Thanks.
Girl is very keen on your inventory management.
Are you gonna drink the antitoxin?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be helping. Like if anything, now that you've drunk something, like it almost feels like you're trying to breathe underwater. It's something's not right.
Are you sure this is antitoxin?
And Randall kind of
And he starts
the
to
wound
grab his neck.
and kind of do like see if he can do like a spout lore on the wound.
Sure. Go take a look at it and roll for it. We'll see what we can do.
That's intelligence, right?
Spout Laura's intelligence, yes.
12.
Oh, nice.
I have to tell you something useful or interesting.
And interesting. Both.
Yes, sorry. Useful and interesting.
So Randall had, from handling sick people and doing research, Randall knows a little bit about some medicine, kind of recognizes it a bit.
So this has like a distinct smell. It smells like the earth kind of freshly after it rained. It's a smell that you don't get to smell too often here, but it's some sort of weird like sense memory that almost everybody has. Like you smell it and then you think of like earth fresh after the rain. And you know that this probably isn't a poison, it's some sort of special virus. It's basically designed to shut down your breathing. And
Joy.
And then you sort of just die gasping.
Would I know if it's contagious or not?
It is extremely short-lived, and it's really only transmissible via like injection.
All right, Randall's gonna get Ash over here to look at this and tell her about it.
Meanwhile, and then she swallows his knee and on a hand while holding his neck.
Okay. Prop prop him up a little bit. I'll be right back. And she goes to the robot that the first one you killed that actually, originally looked more like a robot. And she kind of feels around with her nails, finds a joint in the metal, and pulls her hand back and punches down and punches through the metal and grabs a few things. There's some wire she pulls out, and underneath she finds it basically looks like a heart. And she takes it out and hands it to you, and she says, "Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I need you to eat. I need you to eat this."
And Edmund looks up at the thing and
It-
rips it off her hand and tries to bite it.
You were looking for food, right? And she's trying to keep your spirits up a little bit. She says it'll be fine. All of these non-human life forms down here have human parts. They've all got brains, and they all have some supplementary organs keeping them alive. Part of the design for this one looks to be that it had a virus that it harbored in its body. And that's where what you got hit with came from. So if you eat this, it's hopefully got some sort of immunity to its own virus, and maybe you'll live.
Edmund is not enjoying what he's hearing, but he's still munching on the heart.
Randall gives him the thumbs up and winks.
Girl's gonna turn into a raccoon and begin to look around the area.
Okay. Hold 2. I don't know. You can use a hold to get an extra bonus when digging through trash cans because you're a raccoon. Shit, I don't know. Raccoons don't have a whole lot of powers, man.
Can I have a bonus to discern realities?
If
To
it's, let's say, if it's smell related, yes.
Okay, so she's gonna sniff around to look around for things. Hopefully around this kitchen-esque area.
Mm-hmm.
And so discern realities. 8.
Okay. Ask me a question that you'd be able to tell via smell, and we'll go from
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Well,
Oh, for the record, in this case, her entire lower jaw is just like skeleton part, and like she's like all rotted around the nose a little bit.
hey, gross. So you smell cooked meat coming out of the other robot. Everybody's hungry. So, raccoons are always hungry. Raccoons always want to eat. So you can trash panda whatever just cooked inside that robot. And as far as anything else, trying to think. Oh, the one that just has that cooking smell has a badge on its chest and it's shiny.
She's gonna grab the badge and then she's gonna look for the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Is there meat in there?
In the badge or in the robot?
In the robot.
It takes some digging, but eventually you find a pouch inside the robot, and it's got organs and stuff that got cooked.
She's gonna eat one.
What
The rot in the lower jaw?
you've got a brain, there's a heart, and then there's a lung. Which one do you want to eat?
I feel like, judging by what I know about this character, she's gonna eat the heart.
Okay. A lot of heart eating happening tonight. I didn't plan on all this, so
They're all giblets at this point anyway.
And then after eating the heart, she's gonna burp go over to the machine and like click something on the machine with the badge in her mouth. Like,
yeah, so you get a salad.
she pushes the salad away. She goes for the meat.
The salad loads, and it grinds for a second, and it says protein reserves depleted. And it's salad.
She dumps the salad. She like dumps out the salad and walks away.
So Ash offers a hand to you, Edmund. She looks over at the rest of you as you know she's trying to help Edmund up. She says, "Are you all okay? Can you make it to finish this thing?"
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Am I okay?
Kind of brushes off his rapier, puts it away, and says, "Yeah, sure."
Six slings her shield and sword back over her shoulder, and her eyes look still again, and she says, "We're ready to move on."
Okay. Six. I know I don't know you super well. Anyway, that's kind of a nasty scar. I might be able to help with that if all this goes according to plan. If that's a thing that you care about. Is this weird? This is
After the
weird.
mission is done.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, so you said you knew where the protein stuff was? We need the protein for this thing I have.
Girl's going to like point her nose and begin to wander down the hallway, and then like gesture.
Okay. Thanks, Raccoon. Okay, well
Suppose
I'm gonna go load this by the elevator. If you all want to continue, I'll catch up real quick.
so Edmund's getting better. He's feeling better now.
Yeah, you can. It feels like you've been holding your breath for a long time, almost like you can finally get that air, and you were missing it.
Yeah, Edmund now learns the lesson not to mess with dead roads. And then she looks around, looks at the left salad, and just picks it up and starts munching it to get rid of the taste of hard in his mouth.
That's fair, I suppose. So yeah, you all head down. Do you want to just tell Ash to call it here, or do you guys want to continue on and see what the hell is at the other end of this hallway?
I kind of want to see what's on the end of the hallway.
Okay.
Oh, I still have the meat pack, right? Because that's
You can take like an organ or two with you, but it's kind of integrated into the robot.
I'll take the brain.
Gross.
Brains are
Okay.
tasty.
Brains are super high in cholesterol, so beware. You get a little raccoon heart disease.
Girl's a survivor.
This girl
There's a
still
girl?
doing this whole time?
Yes.
Did the girl drop the badge?
No, that's in her mouth.
Okay.
With the brain?
The brain is like on her back. She doesn't care. She's like,
Oh,
she
okay.
actually put it in her little raccoon book bag and she's been...
What do you got, girl? Oh, God! All right. So let's say you all make it to the end of the hallway, so we don't have to describe any more things that's going to give me nightmares. You get here. You come to this round, excuse me. It's almost like a hub room. There's no doors or anything. There's there's some signs pointing at the 3 exits to this room aside from the one you came down. To the left, it says something about trash chutes. Up and to the right, it's got it says supply storage, and down and to the right, it says the farm. Somebody kind of blacked out what was on the sign and wrote the farm on it.
Well, our friend directed us to the farm earlier. Did he not?
He said you can go there if you wanted to see if somebody would let you into the cafeteria.
It seems like we were just in the cafeteria.
You were? You sort of...
Just blame Emdun.
I was about to say, you sort of ended up bypassing the normal time requirement by breaking everything in there.
The girl got food out of it.
Oh, we forgot to. Did Ash take some of the dispenser things already?
Not any of the ones on the wall that you've seen.
But she did say that she took some of them.
She's got something in a pack that she said was what she came here for.
But she's looking for like protein things.
Yes.
They're down this way. Somewhere.
Okay.
We can go ask that guy in that room to give more clear directions.
Girl's already walking into the farm.
Okay. Well, let's say you do your thing while they are... Oh, I just grabbed a room on accident. Hold on. I'm not used to having this kind of power.
All the power.
Boop. Okay. So you come to a room. It is super long. The walls or the ceiling in here isn't super high like it was in the cafeteria. Like this one, it doesn't seem like they gave a shit about whether you felt free or calm. You see a bunch of kind of little box-shaped areas with these kind of flimsy walls separating them all. There are some people walking around the perimeter and going into some of the box rooms and doing something. And there's this kind of static being pumped through the air, and it kind of makes it hard to think almost. I don't know. This place just seems oppressive.
Girl's going to climb into one of the cubes with a person in him.
As you make it to like the opening in the wall, you see there's a desk, there's a screen, there's a thing somebody is pushing buttons on with one hand, and the other arm kind of ends at the elbow, and it's hooked up to this machine that seems to be slowly vacuuming parts off of this person's arm.
Parts?
Yeah. Like there's this whirring thing inside, and you can see little particulate things coming off of the arm and going into a tube that's hooked up to this tube on their arm. It's almost like their whole arm is fitting into a sleeve that kind of stops at their kind of upper arm.
Girl's going to tap the person on the shoulder. She's going to turn back into girl at this point.
This person looks back, and their eyes are sort of sunken, and they're just slow. They're sluggish. Yes.
Are you? What's that on your arm?
We just call it the device.
Do you want it off?
If I get it off before the allotted time, then they add more time.
Who's they?
The company. We all work for the company.
Girl holds up her ID badge. I mean, I work for the company too, but what is this company that we work for? She looks at the badge.
They do everything. They practically run the world at this point.
Sounds
Yeah.
like Prey talking.
They make the drugs that keep people healthy. They choose who gets the weapons that keep people safe. We get to be cogs in the glorious machine until our tenure is up.
Girl's gonna look back. I found some prey in here.
Randall's gonna ask Ash, "Is this what you were looking for?"
But I was looking for handy containers that I could hook up to a machine to make things, but this is not great. I think they're killing
So we
these
should
people.
just keep going forward then. And he just starts going to the next room.
I think we should do something for these people, but doing something for these people, if this is where the protein comes from, may mean not doing something for the people up top.
Randall says, "It's not our problem. Just forget it." Keeps walking.
We're here. This is our problem.
Girl looks at Ash, and she's like, my mom told me stories about my father, and he would always say that there are two types of people, prey and predators. And those who choose to be prey are those who are fed on by the predators.
Was your father a shark?
No, I don't think he was a shark. Mom said he liked them, though. Liked them a lot. I don't know, I never met him.
Okay, well, let's just say I've been around for a while and I've learned some things, and there comes a time when you have to realize that it may not be your problem now. But that doesn't mean it won't always not be your problem.
And kind of turns around and says, "These people are not our problem. We don't know them. We don't owe them anything. Let's get what we need and go."
And then meanwhile just looks around, see if there's anything valuable to pick up.
Each of the offices seems to be, I mean, pretty much the same. There's no like decoration or anything. There's a few speakers on the wall. There's the screens in each office. There's a keyboard, and there's a person with an arm or a leg or something in this weird machine.
Edmund just walks alone, uninterested in them.
Girl's going to look at the machines and then look where they lead.
Mm-hmm.
And can I do a discern realities?
Um,
And like,
all the tubes lead up into the ceiling.
girl's going to turn into a what I'm trying to think of a forest creature that can get into the ceiling very easily.
Squirrel.
Girl's going to turn into a squirrel.
Squirrel girl. Congratulations. We're getting sued.
Hopefully turn into a squirrel. Let's put it that way, because actually I think I always turn. Bad things happen if I fail.
Yeah.
I've been rolling 8s for the shapeshift roll.
Pretty consistently.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're small. You can get into crawl spaces. If you do attack anything, it'll be dex based since squirrel.
Can Randall do a discern realities too while she does that?
Sure. What are you looking at?
I'm gonna check out what here is not what it appears to be.
Ash. What was that?
We already know that, I think.
Well, 6 knows that. I don't know that anybody else here knows that.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the players know.
Yeah. Yeah, something about Ash seems off, and one of the people walking around, despite all attempts to appear otherwise, has absolutely been watching you very carefully the entire time you've been in here.
Randall's going to kind of, as subtly as he can, get Ash's attention and indicate the person watching.
She's gonna nod and just sort of stride over that way. And yeah, so girl, you are getting into the ceiling?
Yes.
Okay. You get up there, it's pretty dark, but you see all of these tubes kind of heading off to the east into another room.
She's going to follow the tubes into the other room.
Okay. Excuse me, got hiccups, as always. You come out of the ceiling, and there's sort of just like this fat trunk of where all the pipes kind of come together, and every so often this brownish gray stuff drips out of the pipe into this container, and there's one other container that seems to be already full next to it, and it's sealed, and then this one is probably about 3/4 of the way full.
Are there any wires?
There were wires kind of wrapped around where it came out and went into the ceiling from the other room, but here it just seems to be sort of almost like a hose.
Girl's
Oh,
going to
what there's in-
Girl's going to attempt to bite through the hose. Their squirrel teeth.
Okay. Give me a hack and slash.
10.
It takes a few minutes, but you're able to chew a hole in this hose.
She's going to continue trying to break the machine.
When you do that,
jeez.
you get some in your mouth, and you get this like immediate concentrated sensation of like old blood and something that wishes it was still meat.
Girl's used to it, and so she's going to continue.
While this is happening, 6 is observing what Ash is doing from a bit of a distance. But she's not going to interfere.
So Ash goes up to this person. She says a few things. You see like hand movements, and then she motions over towards some other area in the room, and the person looks, and then you see just really quickly that bracer on her hand. She puts it against the person's back and like twists, and then the person just sort of stands still, and then she comes back over. Okay, we have a few minutes. So what is your decision, um, inhabitants of this wretched town in this wretched time? What is it that you choose to do when confronted with these people?
This machine feeds the ghosts of the old age. We have to shut it down somehow.
Randall shakes his head. We came here to do a job. Let's do that job.
I agree with Randall.
Girl's already breaking the machine.
Well,
Because predators that are fed are prey.
Ash says, "Well, I had some words with that overseer there, and I learned a few things. So why don't we go to the collection room?" And she leads you out the east exit, and excuse me. There we go. See if this lets me. Boop. There we go. So yeah, you're led here, and she takes you to that kind of northwestern room. She sees a girl when she walks in. She says, "Well, I guess that's at least part of the decision made. This can't be entirely undone, however. So, if you want for me to be able to continue making things to help the town, you may not want to break the machine. If you want these people to be alive, then break it." And
Randall's going to kind of pick up the squirrel and stop her from breaking the machine.
Girl's got to turn back into girl and hold out a halfling pipeweed and be like, "We are predators. We hunt. We are not fed like pets."
Or
She's gonna
does
hold out
you
halfling pipeweed for you to smoke with her.
Then finish the hunt that you were hired to do, girl.
Still holding out the pipe and blue.
I don't think he's going for it.
Randall's just going to take the pipe weed and just shove it in his pocket.
Okay, that's -1 for me. She's gonna look at you and she's like, "Our employer." She's gonna look at you and she's gonna be like, "Our employer is her."
Your
What she
employer
said.
is the town. I have no money. I have very little attachment to. That's not important right now. Do what you feel would be in the best interest of the town. If you feel that these people need to be saved and that this supply of protein for the printer needs to finish here and now, so be it. And if you feel that the suffering of these below, these nameless and, for the most part, faceless people, is worth the happiness of those above, don't break the machine. I've got what I've come here for." And she walks over and then grabs the sealed container and the one that's mostly full, and then finds a cap to put on it, puts it in her bag. She goes, "And I'm going to get back to work soon when we get back up. So I'm going to walk out of the room. I'm going to wait for you at the elevator. You choose." And she kind of just pushes past you all and heads down the hallway.
Wait a moment.
Those who are fed with ease or not become stationary? Do you want our town to become stationary and be feasted on by stronger predators who hunt for their goods?
Perhaps we can uproot the device and thereby keep that and make protein some other way.
Randall shakes his head.
How?
He's getting a little bit more serious than he normally is, and he says, "This thing is staying put. We're finishing this job."
We should. How else are we going to get this protein thing? There seems to be no other source of it. We should just stay with things how are now.
A shark that doesn't continue to swim forward dies.
Randall narrows his eyes and says, "There are plenty of ways to die.
Girl's
Some more
gonna-
painful than others."
Girl's gonna look at you, and this is when you kind of notice that like part of her face is covered in like black ichor and stuff, like the part that's been hidden by her hair, and her eye is glowing like red, and she looks at you, she's like, "I've seen death. I know how death is. This machine brings nothing but death to those who feast upon it and to those who are fed into it. This machine's more of a predator than you are."
Randall kind of stands up straight and looks down at Girl and says, "Don't presume to know me."
And don't presume to understand what nature is. This thing's unnatural and should be destroyed.
Natural. Randall spits the word and kind of snarls and says, "I don't give a shit about natural."
Then you will be consumed by it, by the unnatural.
That was loud.
Natural is sickness and disease and death, and I will have none of that. Unnatural is medicine and life and happiness. This machine stays. We're finishing this job.
Esmond eventually just leaves and just follows Ash because he really wants to be on her favor, so he just goes.
Girl's gonna turn to 6. What do you think?
We do not see a satisfactory answer to this dilemma. For now, we should move on.
So I'm gonna check something quickly. 6 is going to be 6 is gonna look at you, Randall, and she's going to hold out a packet of gold, and she's like, "You want something that can? You want something of value? You want to be paid for a job? Here's a job. Destroy it." And she throws you 30 coin.
Meanwhile, 6 follows Edmund to the elevator.
Randall is just staring at the girl and says, "Some things are worth more to me than money."
This is the druid versus the arcane trickster.
Hey, if you're not gonna take that money, can I just like have that bag back? Awkward.
Edmund
Girl-
gives the land and turns her out.
Girl's going to look at Randall, and she's like, "If you value life, why do you seek it through death?" and not even death that you have earned yourself.
Randall shrugs, shakes his head, and says, "You have not earned an answer."
And you have not, and you think gifts given through like these kind of gifts don't have consequences to you.
Randall says, "Damn the consequences."
I'm trying to think what girl would say at this point.
Okay, so decision time. What's each of you gonna do? Are you gonna try and break it, or are you gonna walk out?
Girl's gonna try to break it.
Randall's gonna step in the way. He's not gonna let her. He's gonna try to stop her.
Okay, this is gonna be a one try thing, so we don't get into like
That's fair.
super ridiculous PvP round.
She's going to turn into what's the biggest creature in a forest?
Like a bear,
Or
maybe.
I can throw down the gauntlet and try to force her to retreat.
That is a thing you can do.
I'll do that. Boom. So I'm going to challenge you to a duel.
Girl's not going to back down from a duel.
All right, I got a 10.
Fuck, I don't even know how we do duels between players, y'all.
I am fine with making a roll like aid it into do like a full on like player combat thing. I feel like that would work better.
Yeah, do y'all each want to do like... Okay, so if y'all are both doing a duel, I guess we have to see... No, I'm gonna not make it to the death, maybe to like maiming or unconsciousness or something, or however close you want it to be to death. We're not gonna do it to death because that's a whole... We're not gonna have
1 HP.
Yeah, to the one. So what we're going to do is each of you is going to describe how you're fighting, and then we'll figure out what stat that sounds like, and you're going to roll 2d6 plus that stat, and whoever has the higher number wins the thing.
Okay.
Wait, so this is just going down to the 1 HP, right?
Yeah, we're going to say, whoever wins this roll, the other person, you fight until either they pass out or submit, but they're not dead.
Okay.
Okay.
How much HP do you have right now?
Enough to party.
Yeah, enough to party, man.
All right. Oh. So are
Girl-
we using our moves?
I think
Just like sort of cinematically, how are you? What are you doing in your fight? And then instead of using moves, we'll just 2d6 plus whatever stat we can agree that it sounds like you're doing.
Girl's pretty much continuously transforming into different animals and like slashing him down.
Randall's going to continuously try to use Flawless Blade Master to Soul Siphon.
Yeah, I think she's going to be doing transformations like her druid thing versus his
Okay.
arcane thing.
So yours would be wisdom. It sounds like, Patrick. That's what you roll. And Randall, what stat is it for your
Intelligence.
intelligence? Okay, so it's wisdom versus intelligence.
You rolled first. Damn!
Oh, shit.
That's so
Shit!
close.
10 versus
Damn.
9. Okay.
You
So-
beat up a little girl. Congratulations.
Yeah, but little girl who's also sometimes a bear. Like, so yeah, I think y'all end up. I mean, this isn't a quick fight, and it's not super decisive. Like it's not one person completely has the upper hand. Like there's blows struck on both sides, and I think by the time Randall wins out and actually like girl passes out. Randall's not doing great either. Like y'all
Using
both
soul siphon.
y'all both have some lumps from this one. But yeah, Randall, girl has passed out, and is no longer a threat to the machine. What are you gonna do?
Carry her with me back to the elevator.
Okay.
Congratulations, you chose safety over a soul.
Burn. So you get back to the
But
elevator.
as she passes out, I'm going to whisper in her ear, remember who's the predator and who's the prey.
Oh, girl's gonna fucking kill you.
Perfect. Okay.
And I'm going to pick her up and, I guess just for good measure, carve a nice little P into her arm.
That's sadistic.
Randall's
She's
a dick.
12.
Yeah, well, she came between Randall and the thing he cares most about.
Okay, so y'all make it back to the elevator. Ash sees you carrying the unconscious druid, rolls her eyes dramatically, and she says, "Get in."
Randall says there was a fight, and then he just dumps girl on the ground in the elevator.
Gathered as much, and then she pushes the button, and y'all go back to floor 75. This time she picks girl up once y'all get to that floor. She's got this big pack that almost seems to be like about as big as she is. She's got that slung over one shoulder, and she's got girl slung over the other one. And she leads you all to the teleporter, and yeah. A few minutes later, you are back safely on the first floor.
Well, I guess things turn out
Yeah.
well enough.
Woof. Okay. Yes.
Before anything, Monkus, we're good out of game, right? Like, I'm just making sure. And I literally could not see Druid not trying to destroy that machine.
No, like that was one of the things that Randall, outside of the things, that's what it would cause him to react like that, and that's why he reacted the way he did and became a really sadistic asshole after the fight, is because you pissed him off in a way that super duper pissed him off.
Yeah, I don't think Girl and Randall are ever going to get along.
Look, this is just the start of a weird and wonderful relationship.
Now you are frenemies.
I now pronounce you frenemies. Yes.
Something is messy, dude.
Okay, so you make it back up. Ash sort of just disappears for the next couple days. Randall, she comes to you once to get that list of symptoms, and then a little while later she comes back. It's probably close to a week at this point. And she hands you, it's this little small sack, and it's got these strange, shiny, artificial-looking capsules in it. She says 1 a day for a month. Got it?
And Randall kind of looks at them and he says, "Are you sure?"
She gives you this look, and then she just turns around and walks out. Kind of one of those don't fucking question me kind of things.
Randall doesn't say anything else, puts it in there, puts it back in the sack, puts it away.
Okay.
And then he takes out the necklace that he got at the beginning and says, "Ask her about that." Reminds her, "Did you want to look at that?"
Okay. She says, "Yeah, we're gonna have to find somewhere to put that so we can see what's on it. Hand it to me, and I'll send it out with some of the teams, and we'll see what we can find."
Take that out of my inventory.
Okay. So over the next few days, you're all given your 10 coin. There's an extra little marker given to each of you, and it says favor. No explanation. Nobody even knows how it got in there. But you the four of you have a coin, and it says favor on it. And yeah, we're going to end the session with this scene. Like, I think Lily's leaving Ash's room after coming to visit and hang out or whatever, and Ash pulls this machine out from underneath the bed. It's maybe about the size of a cinder block, and it projects this red keyboard onto the surface, and she begins typing on it, and kind of swirling in the air is this chemical formula. She scratches idly kind of at her shoulder, and like the camera zooms in a little bit, and you see it's healed over at this point, but there's some sort of brand that was put on her. And that's the end of it. So, end of session XP. Let's go down through the alignments and see if you got points for it. Girl, what's up?
Destroy an unnatural threat.
She sure tried.
You did kill some robots. So, yeah. 6.
Defeat a worthy opponent.
You did kill some robots.
You killed that robot pretty well.
Yep. Edmund?
Shift danger or blame from yourself to someone else. I think not.
Yeah, you kind of just took that blame head on and got slapped in the mouth by it.
Yep.
And Randall?
I'm neutral, and I think we decided that was avoiding a fight, and I think
one
time I did that was with the guy in the room when I bullshitted my way around the conversation.
I mean, I don't think that was like a tense situation that like you diffused and avoided combat. Like,
and when I was in the other room, when I told Ash about the guy, not.
I'm gonna say I think no on this one.
Especially since you like literally beat up a little girl.
Hey, no. You agreed to a duel. You can't little girl this.
She's a little girl. She can little girl whenever she wants.
I threw down the gauntlet. You didn't have to agree.
So you've got those alignment XP with if you got them, and any failure XP goes to this specific character. And then the following XP is going to be to your character and to the pool to distribute amongst your other ones. The 3 questions.
So this goes to this character and everybody else?
To the character and to the pool that you split between everybody else.
Okay.
Learn something new and important about the world.
Yes. Protein.
Important and deeply unpleasant.
Yeah, okay, I can go for that. I don't think you overcame a notable monster or enemy. Those were just like regular ass
robots.
Yeah, those are just.
I overcame girl.
Does Randall consider her notable?
Turned into a shark.
Yeah, but who doesn't these days? I mean, times are weird. Loot a memorable treasure. Yeah, y'all got like a weird protein. Yeah, y'all got some stuff from this. So I'm gonna say you get 2 from that. And then so mission XP, you get 1 for taking the mission. 1 for finding useful shit and bringing it back. And then 1 for making it back with everybody alive. So that's 3. The bonus XP was no kills, and that wasn't. You didn't. So three, 5 total with the questions. So you've got those. That's going to end it for us tonight.
That's 6 XP total.
The level is 7 plus your level, right?
7 plus your level, yes. So
was it 5?
do what? Yeah, it's 5 from the end of session bits. So thank you everybody for tuning into this latest episode of that D&D podcast, Argent Springs Adventures campaign. If you like the things we do, be sure to go to thatdndpodcast.com or Twitter or twitch.com/thatdndpodcast. We're also on Twitter at the same name. If you like the things we do, feel free to throw some money on Patreon at patreon.com/thatdndpodcast. We've got a lot of stuff lined up in April and May. We've got this going on. We've got our 5th edition campaign. We've got the Supers game that they're running on Sundays or Saturdays. I'm bad at remembering that. Next Monday and every Monday in April, we'll be playing Blades in the Dark with John Harper, the dude who made Blades in the Dark. We've got some interviews lined up for April and May. Shit's crazy, y'all. At some point we're going to sleep, but not today. So yes, thank you, as always, for all your support. And we hope to continue earning your attendance.